point is set in Confederate America and is pre to post Civil War. It follows Scarlett O'Hara as she's being heartbroken by Ashley Wilkes, who is married his cousin Melanie Hamilton. She also meets a charming blockade runner for the South, Rhett Butler. The movie follows their lives as the war unfolds and their emotions go rampant.
The music in this scene is orchestral music, which is very uplifting, that conveys her essence and demonstrates how good her mood is when she is around guys that give her attention.
The angle in the scene shows the attention being given to Scarlett by all the guys and how they all want to be with her.
Orchestral music is used in this scene. Again, this time it is slow and goes in beat with the despair and hunger Scarlett feels in this particular scene. The music then progresses into one of hope as she says her lines, "God is my witness."
The tone goes from solemn to hopeful. The barren tree shows the war and how things have happened to her has made her soul feel empty, for her heart will be full of resentment. The fence symbolizes a boundary that Scarlett is willing to go beyond what she thought was right for survival. The fence also shows that society doesn't contain her anymore. The camera moves left to right to show Scarlett's perseverance and will to keep moving forward, even though the Civil War has caused her emotional distress. When she was on the ground, she saw darkness and light couldn't get in until she stood up and realized her situation wasn't going to change unless she changed it herself. When Scarlett was on the ground in the darkness, she then stands up and into the light. The scene shows the level of emotional distress Scarlett faced and her perseverance because she was able to rise from the destruction of the South. The barren trees and land illustrate hope and possibilities have decreased by the end of the film. As God is my witness, I will never be hungry again.
Oh, hi, miss. Do you have any more valuables? Wait, hold up. The transitions between scenes are all consistent with a fade-out effect between each transition, which was mostly used during this filming era.
The sound in this scene is suspenseful. Suspenseful music is used to create this suspense of the moment, and a dramatic stop of the music happens when the gun goes off. The suspenseful music continues to set the mood of figuring out what Melanie and Scarlett are going to do with the body.
What am I gonna do? Oh my God, you killed him. In this scene, the tone is very mysterious. Her anger led her down the stairs, and the life she knew had been taken from her. Therefore, she wanted to take a life. The lines on the floor represent a jail cell because the crime was occurring and he was robbing her of her valuables, but she would end up robbing him of his life. She stays against the wall to challenge him, and that's why she came halfway down the stairs. In this scene, Scarlett uses a gun, and this shows her independence.
Scarlet is a spoiled daughter turned hardworking, almost cruel woman determined to regain the wealth and home she lost during the Civil War. Rhett is a charming man who is capable of getting what he wants, but his actions and emotions become near reckless as he realizes that no matter what he does, Scarlet will always love Ashley. Ashley was a chivalrous and honorable man, but as the movie progresses, he becomes more resigned and he can't adjust to the New South and is full of regret of not marrying Scarlet. In the beginning of the movie, Melanie is a good-hearted wife and seemingly frail, but as the war progresses, she gains immense inner strength and only looks towards the future where there's a brighter path. Red! Red, wait! Red! Where do I go? What do I do?
Gone with the Wind was made to show the Southerners' perspective involving the lifestyle and the events before, during, and after the Civil War. It was made to remember a time that was seen as more civilized and chivalrous. This is especially seen in the earlier scenes, which are set in pre-war Georgia, where tradition and chivalry exist. Although this is not shown in our reenactments, in the party scene, everybody is dressed up in their traditional clothing, and Scarlet also deals with her many chivalrous suitors. During this time period, women normally dressed in hoop skirts, pantalettes, or in knee-length skirts and bobbed hair. As the Civil War begins, the setting shifts to Atlanta, where the war causes the breakdown of traditional gender roles and power structures. When the South loses the war and the slaves are freed, this puts a stop to the Southern way of life. The Southerners' way of life was the form of civilization separate and distinguishable from the North. This was a huge part in society in the U.S. and was part of what defined civilization in America. Gone with the Wind addresses the social upheaval of the Great Depression and feminism as seen during the time in which the film was released, which is 1940. During the Civil War, everyone lost everything and everyone was equal in social classes and wealth, and people were in panic just like during the Great Depression. To start new lives, people had very little to nothing. Scarlet manages to overcome these hardships through strength of will. Scarlet becomes a feminist heroine because she relies on herself alone and survives the Civil War and Reconstruction. She rebuilds Tara after the Yankee invasion and works her way up in the new political order, taking care of helpless family members and friends along the way. Scarlet becomes a cruel businesswoman and a domineering wife. You see, wars have a way of changing women. Whether the women are dressed in hoop skirts and knee-length skirts with bobbed hair, the hardships and losses of the Civil War changed Scarlet from a spoiled and selfish but otherwise normal Southern girl into a strong, independent woman. Just as the period following the World War I made modern girls change from traditional norms to them doing shocking things like getting rights to vote or be a part of the political or public sphere.
No, but Red, really? Where do I go? What do I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.